is quite blind with what is going around this world. They mentioned about child performance not spending proper time in their childhood, vulnerable to exploitation, and they face a lot of problems. But they did not see one thing. Before a child performs in something, they need to apply for license. When a child applies for license, the government, for example, the particular government body, for example, the Inland Revenue or the Health and Safety Department, monitors what the child is doing, the health of the child, and whether the child is vulnerable to anything. One example, as my first speaker said, was Emma Watson. She is a safe actor and she is now successful. The first speaker of the government side says, okay.
Then if you say that there are really people monitoring, why are other child stars not turning out like Emma Watson? Does the government really does the job?
No. You're going wrong with this because you yourself provided us information with performers who went away from the age of children. They went away from the age of 18, as your first speaker or second speaker said, that a man got exploited or died on the age of 30. That is after he became an adult. So that is not valid information. This point that children need to apply for license to perform in anything eliminates all of the points the government side stated here. And I would like to mention one more thing. The government side stated that children are more vulnerable to exploitation, but 50% of children are less able to get exploited because there is a government body looking after them and most of their parents are with them on set. And they say they could not have proper education. And this clearly shows that they do not know what is homeschooling. Homeschooling provides you with everything you get on a school, a normal school. It is better actually because you learn with your parents. You learn in a really comfortable environment. And you can hire your own teacher. And as my first speaker said, there are a lot of disadvantages of banning child performance. As one man, his name was Danny O'Chris, he wanted to become a singer. He was offered a chance on the age of 14, but he wasn't allowed by his parents. But after he reached the age of 21, he tried his best, but his voice went out. So this is a really big disappointment because after you reach the age of puberty, your voice is gone. So you really have to practice with professionals. As poor people from poor families, they can only train their children as they get into like professional careers. For example, Justin Bieber, his family was poor. If he did not enter child performance, his voice would have been bad because his mom and his parents cannot afford professional teachers to teach him. Okay.
But don't you agree that Justin Bieber's record label agency is rich, so they can provide better vocal coaches?
That is after he reached his adulthood. That is after his parents got out. That is due to his successfulness when he was young. As they stated, they are vulnerable. Yes, they do not have proper childhood. As we can take an example, Emma Watson again. She did have a proper childhood. She went on acting. She came back home. She went through informal education. She had fun with her friends. And she did not have any mental illness or the particular syndrome your first speaker stated just now. And your first speaker did not state any child performer who went through that particular syndrome. And your second speaker mentioned about disorders, eating disorders. The second speaker also mentioned about a disorder which was 5 years ago. And that is not valid for this parliament because it's a 5-year-old story. Let's talk about the present, 5 years now. Not 1970 or something. We are in the 21st century. Please talk about the 21st century. We are improved. We are in the modern world. We are trying to allow children to pursue on their career. As they go through formal education, it is eventually preparing them for what they want to do in the future. For example, if a man wants to be a singer when he grows up, he can pursue it from this age right now until the age he gets old. Rather than just performing it after that, he's still going to be successful, he's still going to be the same singer. He won't get exploited because there is a government body looking after him. He is really safe. does not accept assumption, please.
You will prove the statistic, not me, because now you are the opposition. That
You are the one who's telling me that they don't go under this. I've already stated you that they are not getting stressed and everything. Thank you, Mrs. Okay. That is why we in the opposition side firmly believes that this house should not ban child performers due to the disadvantages. And all of what the government said is clearly not true. And with that, I would like to rest my case.